Hi folks, welcome to another beer review, and thanks to the wonderful Adam from Mersey Beers, the Tesco Beer Week has been saved. And yeah, so he put in a little bit of an order for with Thornbridge, and asked if I wanted a few beers. I selected my beers, but he also included this, as well as other freebies. So massive thank you, Adam. You've at least saved this to being like a Monday to Friday Tesco Beer Week, because I actually ended up just fucking drinking the other beers that I picked up for this week. Best selection of beers in Tesco so far, and now we've just found out that there's going to be a fair bit of Buxton coming our way in the Tesco supermarket aisle, so wait about 2 months while I'm way behind the curve on reviewing those, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day, does it? Because why would you strive for views being a beer review? Being beer reviewer? I've had a few beers tonight. It's Thursday, I'm drinking on an empty stomach, and it's probably not going to end well, since I'm in work tomorrow, then Saturday. But hey ho, you've just got to live with it, haven't you? Anyway, I don't know why I'm slurring my words, to be honest. I've not drunk that much. And I've just drank another beer as I was doing a beer review. This is Yalamu from Thornbridge, which was another can that Adam kindly gifted to me. So massive thank you from Adam, for Adam, to Adam from Mersey Beers. Link is down below. So this is the Pondera, or Ponderosa, or Don Para. Is it a play on words of a famous Italian mob boss? Who knows? But basically this is a West Coast IPA, clocking in at 6.7% ABV, brewed in collaboration with Firestone Walker. Now, you don't really see Firestone Walker as much, and when you do see it, it's just like Union Jack and things like that, but I know some of their barrel-aged stuff is just top draw, and yeah, so I need to pick up a few Firestone Walker barrel-aged beers. I hope you like this dynamic slanted angle, by the way, and I've got a beautiful is that anagram? No, it's not anagram. Noah bottle with some fairy lights in, because I had pretty much 10% actual physical involvement in the building of this bar, but I'm putting the aesthetic touches. I've already done the chalkboards. I've got a nice beer mat panel, which is on the inside of the bar. So those small touches I'm in charge of. Think of me as the Peter Saville to this craft beer bar, without the talent at all. But yeah, anyway, so Pondera, or Pondera, I'm not sure how this is pronounced, to be honest. But yeah, West Coast IPA. I'll be interested to see how true to the style it is, because let's face it, a lot of West Coast IPAs in 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016 have been very subpar and do not reflect the style at all. But with the likes of Thornbridge and Firestone Walker involved, I have the faintest glimmer of hope. So let's see what we get. And yes, this is going into a dirty glass because I've already had a couple of drinky poos tonight. You know when someone's had a few too many than they should do without having a few too many, when they refer to alcoholic beverages as drinky poos. Anyway, so yeah, beer in the glass then. It's been bright. There's like the slightest hint of haze in there. But yeah, lovely sort of amber colour with just shy of a 1/2 finger's worth of head. Oh god. So yeah, it's looking exactly true to the style. Apologies to both breweries, by the way, for this review. Getting sticky, slightly sweet malts. It's got that like sort of like classic IPA from about 5 years ago aroma to it. Dip your nose in. Hashtag cop out as well with that tasting note. Yeah, it's got that sort of like resiny, vibrancy, citrusy sort of character. Don't know why I put the beer down and then picked it back up again. Could have just held it. It's smelling really good though. It's got a real like vibrancy to it. Anyway, let's give it a taste. Cheers all. Slight caramel-like sweetness from the malts, but not too much, because that can tend to drift in sort of like malt bomb territory. Why do people watch this for actual reviews? I do not know. I appreciate it though. How the fuck have I reached 500 subscribers? Which is like, it's not even like a drop in the ocean, even in beer tube terms, but it's like, why are people wasting their time watching me do beer reviews? I don't understand it, but I appreciate each and every one of you. But yeah, this is tasting. It's got a real nice sweetness to it. There's a resiny character. Is it a West Coast? It's got those like hints of being a West Coast beer or West Coast IPA, but yeah, and it's got that sort of like muskiness that you get from a lot of beers like this. In terms of like West Coast supermarket styly, I think it's a damn tasty beer, that's for sure. Ooh, spilled beer on my crotch. It's a nice beer, but is it like a true West Coast IPA? I almost think we've lost sight of that style, even though that style rarely influenced the British brewing scene. And then, of course, the hazy IPAs came along and then taught us a new way of thinking. Let's get philosophical, shall we? But yeah, this is a damn good beer. It's got that slight piney element, which you don't really get too much nowadays. And it's got that slight Haribo, Rancher's Fruit pastel character you get from a lot of classic IPAs. I don't know why, but it reminds me of like a German IPA from 4 years ago. That's what it reminds me of. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you're a natural, rational human being, because that was a ridiculous thing to say in a beer review. But yeah, I've actually been really impressed with Thornbridge's output in the supermarkets. Halcyon Grapefruit, gorgeous beer, perfect for train journeys. That, I can't remember what it was called, but I've already had that can, which was kindly sent to me by Adam. What's it called? It's in the supermarkets now, but you can buy it from the web shop as well, from Thornbridge directly. Yalamu? Is that your Yalamu? However it's pronounced. So I think Thornbridge, and this is probably not going to be seen as a compliment to the folks at Thornbridge, but if you want a solid supermarket beer, I think Thornbridge have been the most consistent out of the bunch, to be honest. The beers individually, Jaipur, still not a fan of, although Adam kindly picked me up a can of that straight from the brewery, so no excuse. If I don't like it, then that's the final nail in the coffin with Jaipur. Not that Thornbridge are ever going to suffer about that, because it's still a beer that's well loved and consumed probably a lot more compared to their other beers. It was that sort of beer that sort of like put them on the map, almost. That's a really bold claim to make with nowhere prior research, but hey ho, it's the Clueless Drinker channel. I'm just an everyday Joe who's pretentious as fuck and he thinks he's better than everyone else, so take my opinions with a pinch of Himalayan salt, a pinch of Saxo salt, a pinch of, you know, your home brand salt that's got way too much sodium in. So yeah, my rule has always been with my channel, do not take my word as gospel, but at least go and try the beers if you've been intrigued. But yeah, this is actually a really damn fine beer. It is reminding me of getting into the craft beer scene. So there is that sort of a strange level of romanticism to the beer. I'm not actually drunk, I just lose all grasps of the English language after 2 beers. And what a lovely glow this beer has, thanks to the Noah tea light. Anyway, I probably shouldn't upload this beer review because it puts me in a very poor light. It's not a good reviewer at all, but the beer itself is pretty damn good. Is it like a classic West Coast style though? I'm not too sure, but the lights are slowly coming up around the bar. Humble brag, strange brag, and not really a brag at all. That's really braggatoni. Imagine a pasta that was called braggatoni. Anyway, I pity the people who subject themselves to my beer reviews. Anyway, I've got work tomorrow as well, so that's going to be fun. So yeah, I'm going to close out Supermarket Week with a pretty damn good beer, to be honest. Would I try this again? If I could pick it up from the supermarkets, from Tesco's, then hell yes. It's a really good, dependable, solid offering from Thornbridge. A brewery who I think is underrated, and I say that because I don't really try too many of their beers, but with the order that Adam made and the beers that he kindly picked up for me and gifted me as well, because he's a bastard like that. Yeah, I think I've got that same sort of relationship with Thornbridge as I do with Siren. I know they're a really good brewery. I know they've got to where they are for a good reason. I know they've got that reputation, but I just don't really pick up their beers as much as I should. But you can put the Colonel in that group. You can put Weird Beard in that group. There are so many really solid breweries who, for some reason or another, you don't really tempt to go for, because you're like, oh, it's the latest Cloudwater DDH with whatever new hops being pulled out the arse of the ether, or like, do you know what I mean? I think the hype sort of distracts from breweries who produce really solid, exceptional beer, but they're not like, oh, look at us, we've got the latest cryo hop. If I said that in 2017, that would be a very bold statement, but nowadays it's just like, we can get cryo, we can get BBC hops, we can get green hops, we can get pellets, we can get, fresh hops and that sort of thing. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now. I'm becoming a bit too meta and self-aware for my own good. But yeah, the long and short of it is, this is a really nice beer. So in terms of a rating, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think that's really nice, and I really want to try and get my hands on more Firestone Walker beers. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Both social media links for both breweries are going to be included. And of course, go check out Thornbridge's webshop. And you can pick pick up some really interesting beers from there. So yeah, massive thank you to Adam for kindly sending me this beer and inadvertently saving my supermarket week. And yeah, 8 out of 10. You can do much worse, but I don't think it's like a true example of a West Coast IPA. Anyway, so if you tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions, and of course, thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you later. I've winked twice now.